Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it funny the way they thought they could break someone who's already been through the fire? They thought they'd be the one to push you over the edge, to bring you down to your knees, to take the pieces of your broken past and turn them against you. But oh, how wrong they were. See, they didn't understand that those broken pieces they wanted to exploit, they were the very parts of you that made you unbreakable. They thought your scars were weaknesses, thought they'd found the cracks in your armor. But those scars, they were your strength, your battle marks, your proof that you'd already faced and survived things far worse than anything they could throw at you. They thought they'd be the ones to make you crumble, to finally finish the job that life had already tried so hard to do. They couldn't comprehend that the pain you felt before, the darkness you've endured, all of it has shaped you into someone far stronger than they could ever handle. They played their little mind games, threw their words like knives, thinking they'd find a way into your mind, into your heart. But all they did was reveal their own weaknesses, their own fragility in the face of someone who's already been through it all. What they didn't realize is that you'd learned from every wound, every heartbreak, every betrayal. You'd built yourself up piece by piece after every fall, every disappointment. And instead of shattering you, those experiences gave you the wisdom, the resilience, the strength to see through people like them. You weren't naive, you weren't blind, you saw exactly what they were trying to do from the very beginning, and you let them think they had the upper hand. Because you knew that in the end, they'd only be fighting themselves. You see, they thought they were getting close, thought they were digging deep into the core of you, thought they were tearing down your walls, but you were never letting them in. You were watching, learning, waiting. You let them expose themselves, let them believe they had control. They thought they could handle someone who'd already faced the darkness, but they didn't understand that you'd made peace with it, had learned to use it as a source of strength rather than weakness. They believed they'd uncovered your secrets, your fears, the ghosts of your past. But you were 2 steps ahead, weren't you? You knew that whatever they found, whatever they thought they could use against you, was something you'd already overcome. You'd already made it through that fire, and there was nothing left for them to destroy. They tried to weaponize your past, to make you feel small, insecure, broken. But instead, they found themselves dwarfed by the strength of someone who'd faced the worst and emerged standing. And now they're left grappling with the reality of who you are, the person they tried so hard to break, who ended up teaching them a lesson they'll never forget. They expected someone fragile, someone who'd fall apart at the first sign of trouble. But what they got was someone who'd been built by adversity, by resilience, by fire. You taught them that strength doesn't come from living a perfect life, it comes from surviving the storms and finding yourself on the other side, stronger, wiser, unbreakable. Their attempts to control, to manipulate, to hurt you, they were met with a wall of resolve they couldn't even begin to fathom. They thought they'd leave you in ruins, but it was they who ended up undone, exposed by their own insecurities, their own weaknesses. And now, they're haunted by the realization that they were never truly in control, that their power was an illusion, a mask that crumbled the moment you saw through it. They underestimated you because of your past, thought that having been broken once meant you'd break easily again. But what they didn't understand is that your past wasn't a burden, it was your foundation, your strength, your proof that you could survive anything. They thought they'd make you feel small, make you doubt yourself. Instead, they've been left questioning their own worth, their own tactics, their own reasons for trying to bring down someone who's already weathered the storm. In the end, they played themselves, trying to play you. They thought they could trigger your insecurities, make you feel inadequate, unworthy, but they only revealed their own lack, their own emptiness. They wanted you to feel weak. But every word, every game, every attempt to bring you down only strengthened your resolve. They've learned now that true strength doesn't come from manipulation or control, it comes from surviving, from enduring, from rising above. They're haunted now, haunted by the fact that they couldn't break you, couldn't get under your skin, couldn't shake you. They wanted power, control, dominance, but all they ended up with was the cold realization that they were powerless against someone like you. They underestimated the power of resilience, of self-acceptance, of facing one's past head-on and finding peace within it. And that realization, it's something they'll carry with them, something they can't unsee. They've been left with a lesson they'll never forget, that you can't break someone who's already been through hell and back. You've shown them that the strongest people aren't the ones who have had an easy life, they're the ones who have faced the hardest battles and still find the strength to keep going. You taught them that there's a difference between someone who's been broken and someone who's broken beyond repair. You may have scars, but you're far from broken. Now they know, don't they? They know that they were never the threat they thought they were, that they never held the power they believed they had. They've been left to wrestle with the weight of their own actions, to question the motives that drove them to try and tear down someone so resilient, so unyielding. And as they grapple with that reality, they're left wondering what it is about you that made you so unbreakable, so strong, so far beyond their reach. And you've walked away stronger, wiser, unbothered. You've left them in the dust, left them to ponder their own reflection, to face the reality of who they are, because you didn't need to fight, didn't need to stoop to their level. You simply stood tall, watched and waited, and in that silence they saw the truth of their own emptiness. You taught them a lesson they'll carry for the rest of their lives, that true strength isn't in the games, the control, the manipulation. It's in surviving, in standing strong, in refusing to break. So here's to you, the one who was too strong to shatter, too wise to fall for their tricks. Here's to the strength you found within yourself, the resilience they'll never understand, the quiet power of a soul that's been through the fire and emerged whole. They thought they could bring you down, but you rose above, and now they're left with nothing but the echoes of their own failures. And maybe, just maybe, they'll remember this lesson. Maybe they'll think twice before they try to break another. Maybe they'll understand that not everyone is as fragile as they appear, that some have learned to turn their scars into armor, their pain into strength. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll keep playing their games, keep trying to control and manipulate. But they'll always remember you, the one they couldn't break, the one who walked away stronger than ever. In the end, they're left with the weight of their own actions, a haunting reminder of what they lost when they tried to bring you down. They're left with the memory of the person who saw through it all, who refused to be controlled, who showed them the true meaning of strength. And as they move forward, they'll carry that lesson with them, a lesson they never wanted, but one they'll never forget. Because you were unbreakable, unstoppable, and far beyond anything they could have ever imagined. And now, every step they take is a reminder of what they lost, a consequence they didn't see coming. They thought they'd just move on, leave it all behind without a second thought. But life has a funny way of making people face themselves, doesn't it? Every person they meet, every new connection they try to make, it's haunted by the memory of the one who didn't break, of you. They find themselves replaying conversations, rethinking those choices, wondering why they couldn't see the strength in you until it was far too late. They'll tell themselves it was for the best, that they're better off without the challenge, without facing someone who wouldn't bend to their games. But deep down, that voice in their mind will remind them of what they lost. Because they didn't just lose a person, they lost the chance to rise to the occasion, to be better, to grow. You held a mirror up to them, and instead of facing it, they chose to shatter it. Now, those broken reflections are all they're left with, pieces of a self they could have transformed if they'd only let go of their need for control. They'll find that others too are wiser now, more guarded. They thought you'd be the last person to see through them, but instead you showed the world their true nature. And the world? It's more cautious now, more aware, less willing to be fooled. They wanted to break you, But in doing so, they expose themselves to everyone else. Now, as they navigate this new reality, they'll find that the games they used to play don't work quite like they did. People have seen the truth, and it's not easily forgotten. So here's the final irony: the very power they sought is the one they handed to you when they underestimated you. They tried to turn your past into your prison, but you made it your fortress. They wanted you to feel small, but you rose higher than they could ever reach. And now, while they stand alone with the wreckage of their own choices, you walk forward, stronger, untouched, free. So let them be haunted by what they've lost. Let them carry the weight of their own emotional neglect. And let them remember the one who walked away with her head held high, with her emotions intact, and with her strength unbroken. Because in the end, it wasn't their games that defined the aftermath, it was your resilience, your emotional authenticity, and your unwavering strength that reshaped their reality. You've left them with a legacy of emotional strength they can't emulate, a legacy of genuine connection they can never understand, and a legacy of resilience they can never replicate. And in the end, the silence they're left with is deafening. It's the absence of your presence, the void of the strength they failed to recognize, that now fills their every thought. They wanted power, control, but the tables turned, leaving them with nothing but an empty echo of the one who got away. They're haunted not just by what they lost, but by what they'll never become, the person they might have been if they'd let go of their games and embraced something real. And you're already gone, walking forward, leaving them to face the haunting realization that they were the ones who lost, not you.
If you're looking for more content on self-growth, healing, and finding strength in difficult times, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. I've got a lot more empowering content coming your way, and I'd love to have you join this amazing community. Take care, and remember, you're irreplaceable. See you in the next video.